Listen up, because what I'm about to tell you could save you years of wasted energy and emotional damage. There are certain phrases that fall from a woman's lips that should trigger an immediate response in you. Not anger, not argument, not explanation, just movement away from her, forever. Because these aren't just words, they're warnings, they're red flags wrapped in sentences. They're her telling you exactly who she is and exactly how little she values what you bring to the table. And if you ignore them, if you stay and try to fix what's broken, you're not being loyal. You're being foolish. The first phrase that should make you pack your bags without hesitation is this: you're too sensitive. When she says this, she's not critiquing your emotional intelligence. She's dismissing your humanity. She's telling you that your feelings, your boundaries, your right to react to disrespect are inconvenient to her. She wants a man who absorbs her chaos without reflection, a man who takes her storms and calls them sunshine. But here's what she's really saying: I don't want to be accountable for how I treat you. She wants the freedom to wound without the responsibility of healing. She wants to operate without consequences. And when you react naturally, humanly to her actions, she brands you as oversensitive instead of looking at her behavior as the problem. The man who stays after hearing this becomes her emotional punching bag. He starts questioning his own reactions. He starts wondering if maybe she's right. Maybe he is too sensitive. Maybe he should toughen up. And slowly, methodically, she trains him to accept less and less while she gives nothing more. Walk away, because a woman who respects you would never weaponize your emotions against you. She would never make you feel broken for feeling. The second phrase that should send you running is, I need space to figure things out. This isn't a request for time. It's a request for permission to explore other options while keeping you as a backup plan. She wants the safety net of your consistency while she tests the waters elsewhere. She wants to see if the grass is greener while making sure you're still watering her garden. When a woman says this, she's already mentally checked out. She's already entertaining thoughts of life without you, but she's scared to fully commit to that reality, so she wants you on standby, just in case. Just in case the new adventure doesn't work out. Just in case she gets lonely. Just in case she needs someone familiar to fall back on. The man who gives her this space, thinking it shows maturity, is actually showing desperation. He's agreeing to compete for a position he already earned. He's accepting uncertainty in exchange for the possibility of her return. He's volunteering to be plan B while she goes looking for plan A. Don't be that man. When she needs space to figure out if she wants you, you should need no time at all to figure out you don't want her. Because the right woman doesn't need to figure out your value. She knows it immediately and protects it fiercely. The third phrase that should make your blood run cold is, you don't trust me. This usually comes after you've caught her in suspicious behavior, questionable conversations, or outright lies. Instead of addressing your concerns, instead of providing reassurance, instead of examining her own actions, she flips the script. She makes your reasonable suspicion the problem. She makes your need for transparency the issue. This is manipulation at its finest. She's taking your legitimate concerns and turning them into character flaws. She's painting you as insecure, controlling, paranoid. She's making you defend your right to honesty in your own relationship. And if you fall for it, if you start apologizing for wanting the truth, you've just handed her permission to operate in the shadows. A woman with nothing to hide doesn't get angry when you ask questions. She gets understanding. She recognizes that trust is built through transparency, not through blind faith. She doesn't punish you for needing proof. She provides it willingly because she values your peace of mind. But the woman who says, you don't trust me, when caught in questionable behavior, she's telling you that your comfort matters less than her freedom to move unchecked. She's telling you that questioning her is off limits, even when her behavior invites questions. Walk away from that woman, because a relationship without the right to question is a relationship without equity, and you deserve equity. The fourth phrase that should make you disappear like smoke is, that's just how I am. This is her get out of jail free card. This is what she says when you address her toxic patterns, her disrespectful behavior, her harmful habits. Instead of acknowledging the problem, instead of showing willingness to grow, she brands her flaws as permanent fixtures. She makes her dysfunction your cross to bear. When she says, that's just how I am, she's telling you that she has no intention of changing. She's telling you that her comfort with who she is matters more than your comfort with who she is. She's asking you to accept her at her worst while offering no promise of her best. And here's the trap. She'll make you feel like acceptance of her flaws is proof of your love. She'll convince you that asking for better is asking for too much. She'll turn your standards into unrealistic expectations and your boundaries into unfair demands. But love isn't about accepting dysfunction. Love is about inspiring growth. Real love makes both people want to be better. It doesn't demand tolerance of toxicity in the name of acceptance. The woman who hides behind, "That's just how I am," has stopped evolving. She's comfortable in her brokenness and expects you to be comfortable there too. She wants you to build your life around her limitations instead of challenging her to expand beyond them. Don't do it, because the right woman doesn't ask you to love her dysfunction. She works to become worthy of your love by addressing what's broken. The fifth phrase that should make you vanish without explanation is, "You're not the only one." Whether she's talking about options, attention, or opportunities, this statement is designed to diminish your significance in her life. She's telling you that you're replaceable. She's telling you that what you offer isn't unique. She's telling you that she doesn't need you nearly as much as you might need her. This is psychological warfare. She's trying to create scarcity in your mind. She wants you to compete for her attention by reminding you that others are competing too. She wants you to work harder, chase harder, prove yourself harder because you're afraid of being replaced. But here's what she doesn't expect. A man with options doesn't compete for someone who sees him as one of many. A man who knows his worth doesn't fight to prove it to someone who questions it. A man with self-respect doesn't stay where he's not celebrated. When she tells you that you're not the only one, believe her, and then become the one who walked away. Because while she's managing multiple options, she's giving none of them her best. She's dividing her energy, her attention, her investment, and a divided woman can't build anything whole with any man. The sixth and most dangerous phrase is, "If you really loved me, you would." This is emotional blackmail dressed up as a love test. She's trying to manipulate your feelings for her into compliance with her demands. She's making your love conditional on your willingness to compromise your values, your boundaries, your well-being. Real love never demands proof through sacrifice of self. Real love never asks you to demonstrate your feelings by abandoning your principles. Real love never uses itself as leverage to extract what shouldn't be given freely. When she says this, she's telling you that your love isn't enough as it is. She's telling you that she needs more, and that more always comes at your expense. She's turning love into a transaction where you pay with pieces of yourself. Walk away from any woman who weaponizes love, because love should be your strength, not your weakness. It should empower you, not diminish you. Here's what you need to understand. These phrases aren't accidents. They're not slip-ups or moments of poor judgment. They're revelations. They're showing you exactly who she is when she's not trying to impress you. They're giving you a preview of what life with her really looks like. And if you ignore these warnings, if you stay thinking you can change her or fix her or love her into better behavior, you're not being noble. You're being naive. You're volunteering for a life of emotional labor that will never be appreciated and problems that will never be solved. The man who walks away from these red flags isn't giving up on love. He's protecting his capacity for it. He's preserving his energy for someone who deserves it. He's refusing to water dead ground while fertile soil waits elsewhere. Because here's the truth they don't want you to know. Your tolerance of disrespect doesn't prove your love. It proves your lack of self-respect. Your willingness to accept less doesn't show commitment. It shows desperation. When you hear these phrases, don't argue. Don't explain. Don't try to convince her she's wrong. Just walk. Because the right woman would never say these things to begin with. The right woman protects your peace instead of disturbing it. She builds you up instead of breaking you down. She sees your sensitivity as strength, your questions as care, your standards as wisdom. Stop trying to turn the wrong woman into the right one. Start being the man who walks away from wrong so fast that right has room to find him. That's the difference between boys and men. Boys stay and suffer. Men leave and level up.